Beaming Beauty. Once upon a time, there lived a princess named Beaming Beauty, and she was most radiant. Her father, the sun god and king of the solar system, was loved and revered by his subjects. One day, however, the hard-working sun was laid low by an undisclosed medical problem. Beaming Beauty was very concerned. "Without you," she said, "all will be plunged into darkness. I must light the world for you until you get better." And so she set off. Beaming Beauty first visited Mercury and Venus, her closest neighbors. "In the name of my father," she trilled, "let there be light." "Thank you, Princess," rasped Mercury. "But you needn't spoil us when the other planets get so little light to begin with." Tears of gratitude streamed down Venus's reddened face. "How thoughtful," said Beaming Beauty. "How little a father has rubbed off on you. I shall journey on." The next day, she paid a visit to Mars. "In the name of my father," she trilled, "let there be light."
"You are too kind, Princess," groaned Mars. "I feel brighter already. In fact, I think the outer planets deserve a dose of your affections."
The emotion in his voice was palpable. "Quite true," replied Beaming Beauty. "The sun's light belongs to every planet." On the following day, she went to Jupiter and Saturn. "In the name of my father," she trilled, "let there be light."
"No, please,"
cried Jupiter.
"Save your strength."
"We use gas heat,"
Saturn added emphatically.
"Any more toasty, and oh God, stay back, we'll explode. Explode with shame. For our frozen brothers grow colder every moment you lavish us with your warmth."
"How awful," said Beaming Beauty. "The last thing I want is for them to suffer. Take care, my friends." Several days later, Beaming Beauty reached Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. "In the name of my father," she trilled, "let there be light." "Shucks," managed Uranus. "You're melting my heart."
"Sunlight is a luxury we ain't used to, miss,"
growled modest Neptune.
"You should go before—"
"I'm not even a planet anymore," sobbed Pluto as he shrank away. "Now, don't be silly," said Beaming Beauty. "Being denied something your whole life doesn't make you unworthy of it."
We aren't worthy,
shouted all three planets at once.
If we were any unworthier, we might just die.
"Really now?" steamed Beaming Beauty. "Are they that concerned about favoritism?" What would it take for the planets to understand there was no shame in accepting a gift? And then she had an idea. Beaming Beauty gathered all the solar system together. "I realize I've been unfair, so from now on, I shall visit all of you every day." "Over my dead celestial body," said a small voice.
"Princess,"
added Mars,
"we fear you may be neglecting one of your other subjects, the one who needs you most of all."
"Who?" gasped Beaming Beauty.
"Why, the moon, of course. Her goddess has been lost, her whole realm plunged into darkness. Only you can save her."
The planet stared at Beaming Beauty until she got the picture. "How dreadful! I must depart at once." And so all of the solar system, except the moon, lived happily ever after. The end. The buxom stops here. Meet Captain Gaff, the finest pirate the moon has ever seen. Rakishly he roved the turbulent seas, swashing more buckles and giving less quarter, running more rigs and plundering more coin than any other freebooter before him. Gaff was a legend. He loved battle, he loved treasure, he loved carousing with his mateys, but more than anything, he loved buxom beauties. Oh, yes. Every woman had a place in his heart, so long as she possessed the right visual appeal. Be they domesticated or sophisticated, sheltered or seasoned, royal or wenchly, conjugal or chaste, Gaff lusted after every pretty face on and off the open sea. If plying them with the usual flowers and love letters didn't work, what lovely lady could resist the romance of a good kidnapping? The captain's hideaway, Crabclaw Cove, was bursting at the seams with buxom booty. You see, this was what life was all about. A whole bouquet of pretty flowers to pluck and fresh young vixens to gently caress. To Captain Gaff, the beginning and end of a woman's worth was something to be cupped in both hands. Beauty. They had to be beautiful. No pirate wanted a bouquet of withered flowers. And the sad truth was, even the freshest vixens had an expiration date. All the moon knew of the stain this sea dog was leaving on the realm. Women lived in fear of being beautiful, or worse, unbeautiful. Men with attractive wives wanted to kill Gaff, and the other men hated that they couldn't be him. They mobilized militias, assembled vast armadas, but the legendary pirate took this as a challenge. After making off with their women and treasure anyway, he put the rest to the torch. Finally, Gaff's victims turned to the moon goddess. "Help us!" cried lovelies he had yet to lay hands on. "Stop him!" shrieked the concubines he'd cast aside. The goddess decided to cast a spell on Gaff to punish him.
You must atone for your crimes,
she said, as 10,000 volts of magical justice coursed through the captain's depraved body. He awoke back in Crabclaw Cove. Fraught with concern, his beloved bevy of buxom beauties barreled toward him. But Gaff's eyes saw only hideous monsters. "Ah!" cried Gaff tragically as he swung his sword. And then they were gone. All the beauty he had amassed, a lifetime of trophies, destroyed by his hand. "Sink me sideways, Captain!" Gaff's loyal crew had heard the commotion. His crew? No, even his mateys had transformed before his eyes. The captain had been doomed to view every other living soul as an abomination. And so he lost the friends he'd spent more than half his life with. All he had now were his island, his treasure, and his pirate ship. Little consolation without buxom beauties to hang the jewels on, and a crew to man the deck. His days of carousing were over. "Ah, the world be a worthless, empty place. All be darkness." Captain Gaff, pirate legend, was alone, and he would stay that way until his sins were forgiven. The Witch's Book of Recipes. Live from Castle Grisenstein, it's Esma Pots and Pans. the only cooking show where a real certified witch, that's me, teaches you quick and easy magical recipes. The cat at the witch's feet tried to stifle a yawn. Not this meow sheaf again. Don't you ever learn? What? Said the witch innocently. Your last spicy surprise knocked the general right out of his stripes. All he wanted was a painkiller for his toothache. The witch shrugged. No better way to forget one's pain than to put your mind on another. Then what about the husband and wife who couldn't say what was in their hearts? Your frankly furnace only made things worse. The truth shall set them free. Things have to get worse before they get better. The cat rolled his eyes. I can see I'm wasting my time. Good night. Must you always take the lazy way out? But the feline was already half asleep when a knock came at the door. Oh my, I wonder who today's special guest will be. It was one of the Castle Grizzlestein Guard. What's that? You've been sent here by your master? It's all in this letter? Sweat formed on the witch's brow as she started to read aloud. Madam Witch, my soldiers and puppets are miserable. They're up all night moaning and crying. I demand they be cheered up at once. Do you have a recipe for happiness?
You don't know what it's like to be alone, rejected, with only the imaginary friend in your pillow to turn to. And neither do I. Just help them.
My goodness! A shred of kindness. Very well. Today's recipe on Isma Pots and Pans is Cloud9 Stew. Grab a pen and paper, because here comes that magic recipe. 30 glee shrooms from the Wild Waste, 3 wacti cacti, root to shoot, 1 bundle of vile vines sliced into rounds. Last but not least, 2 teaspoons of my secret spice, a little something you can find right in the castle basement. Lunicus, Spoonicus, bon appetit. The grub seemed less than eager to dig in. What's that? Prove it works? The king will kill you if you don't check. Oh, fine. The witch looked down at the floor. Yin Yang, you slouch! Wake up! Have a sip of stew and put some zip in your step. Now! The cat reluctantly sampled his mistress's brew. I'd have to hold my nose, but meow. Leaping litter boxes, this is good. Makes me all warm and fuzzy and... Oh, I feel perfect. I could die right now and have no regrets. Oh dear! Did I overdo it with the secret spice? They say you can't appreciate happiness without a little tragedy. The secret spice, you ask? Why, it's snake's toxin, in moderation, of course. Oh, don't give me that look. If you want out of this hellhole, face it, you're just gonna have to go to heaven. But cheer up. I hear they have cable. How Nebula's heart sank. Poor, poor Nebula, all alone. Poor little Nebula without a friend of her own. Why is it no one sees things my way? Am I the last idea in a desert of cliché? Outside my house I get stared at and mocked, In the streets, I hear snickles and whiskerfaws as I walk. I suppose I'm above them. It's they who are odder. Even Daddy and me are like oil and water. But if Mommy was still here, she'd tell me the truth about my real father, who was far less uncouth, and the galaxy from which I came. Look at these weirdos on Halloween night. This gaggle of ghosts, this wobble of wights. They claim to be townsfolk, all dressed up as spooks, as if I'd be fooled by these monstrous kooks. They're not even living. They're worse than undead. They just wear the costumes to play with your head. They aren't human like me. But oh, what's the point? What does it matter? The whole world's convinced I'm as mad as a hatter. In which case, it's time I made them all see. Armed with the truth, I'll set myself free. Oh, look, here's my daddy, their leader disguised. A ruse soon diffused in the blink of an eye. He won't call me Susan again. But what if the commotion drew some attention? Would the constable come? Would they try intervention? I checked if my neighbors had heard the hubbub, and there was old Frank sinking back in the tub. Oops, a little mishap with the nearest appliance thwarted this neighbor's impending defiance. He wasn't human anyway. Well, that was the end of the tricking and treating, for soon not a single heart was left beating. All that I wanted was to see eye to eye. Why is it no one will be on my side? Wait, what is this? Are these demons awake? Quick, where's a torch? Find some acid, a stake. They simply won't die. No, they won't leave me be. There's no bringing monsters to justice, it seems. Unless, yes, there is an escape. A good way to leave all my captors agape. I know what sets me apart.
Gosh, can you believe her?
Do you suppose it's your face?
She thinks she's a human. Well, we all had those days.
Oh, the misery! My heart, it just sank, and my neck grew to 10 times its regular length. Will nobody save me from this Philistine throng? Oh, please, someone, take me back where I belong. To the galaxy from which I came. Mr. Pink gets a new job. Galahagrid Mulberry times a Westin, eminent scholar of all things clockological, was out of a job. The Land of Time's massive clock, which was supposed to tick its tock for all eternity, had zonked out after just an eon. The Sticky Wicket was finding a replacement clock hand, something that mystastical would never turn up. Galahagrid, better known as Mr. Pink, flew home to his wife and child in low spirits. "Get another job, you lout!" the missus shouted supportively. "Junior needs shoes!" Poor Mr. Pink had no time to mourn the loss of his beloved clock. No, starting tomorrow, every waking hour would belong to the great job hunt. Well, more like great sodding mess, as it turned out. Without the almighty clock to guide them, the Land of Time's populace had gone bonkers. Everyone was either working himself silly or sitting on his duff, drinking tea. Poor Mr. Pink got yelled at for bustling too slow and for relaxing too fast. There was just no place for steady, meticulous work. He got sacked his first day on the job. Back at home, Mr. Pink discovered his wife could turn new, frightening shades of red, and his son shrieked out a melody of death. Perhaps he would need to look into a longer commute. What with the price of fuel, he decided to haul it to the coast on foot. He was hoping to find work on the docks, but quickly discovered he wasn't up to the heavy lifting. Fortunately, the port was raided by the most aggressive of employers, pirates. Our intrepid bird inquired about any openings. And make no mistake, he looked sharp in his new job as the captain's sword. He was ready to bring home some serious bacon. Well, that outlook changed when he saw what he was up against. The other guys had steel swords. He'd heard of swashbuckling, but nobody mentioned he'd be doing all the buckling. Home Mr. Pink went, and his wife had kittens. Well, more like a baby. While he was gone, the number of mouths to feed had gone up 33%. Mr. Pink crossed maintain dignity off his list of objectives. And actually, his new cotton candy stick gig didn't turn out to be so bad. No heavy lifting. All he had to do was hold himself straight. Sure, he was diabetic, his nose tickled, and he had to take a licking, but he could deal with it. Sadly, they trashed him the moment he got too fat. Poor Mr. Pink. Home sweet home. Had someone stapled his wife's eyebrows into that position? Do children always sound this mean when they laugh? Did he even have this many children? Mr. Pink's mind swam with troubling questions as he sought work overseas. One village was hiring wrestlers. After being hired for his sheer audacity, Mr. Pink stood in the ring. He walked away with not even enough fight money to pay his hospital bills. They pitted him against the champ just for shock appeal. After a painful stretch of rehabilitation, Mr. Pink returned home to find the place deserted. How cruel fate was. He longed to see his true love again. And so he climbed the clock tower. A lifetime of clockological study had been poured into this timepiece. Mr. Pink's blood, sweat, and tears. Why did some higher power have to mess everything up? It just wasn't fair. Then, out of nowhere, a rogue gust of wind snatched him off the tower. He watched the ground vanish beneath him. There was no fighting it. His wings were still recovering, and his heart was beyond recovery. Smack! Mr. Pink crashed into his beloved clock face. For better or for worse, fate had intervened, but his poor birdie body felt as though it might never move again. Enough, he whimpered.
Mr. Pink, you mustn't torment yourself.
It was the moon goddess speaking directly to him.
I don't mean to question you, milady, but why exactly not? Make no mistake, said the goddess. You are jobless, friendless, and your family has rejected you. You are hopelessly inflexible when it comes to rules. You have flabby muscles. Your combat ability is laughable. You have zero stage presence, and you can't even relax on a professional level. You are a borderline obsessive clockologist who is self-disciplined to a fault. All you know how to do is stand up straight. For most intents and purposes, you are utterly useless.
Mr. Pink blinked back tears as the goddess continued.
But try to look on the bright side.
Was there a bright side in all that?
You still don't see the world has a perfect job for you.
What job is that? Mr. Pink replied.
A clock hand.
At long last, Mr. Pink, goddess bless him, had found his true calling. The Little Bear That Could. Once upon a time, a small and lovable bear lived on the moon. The moon goddess called him Little Bear and loved him very much. Little Bear and his 12 animal friends lived in a shining white castle, and they were all very happy. The goddess said to him,
Little Bear, you can play anywhere you want, with anything you like, but promise me you will never, ever touch these moonstones.
I promise, was Little Bear's cheerful reply. But one day, when the goddess was away, Yin Yang the cat came up to Little Bear.
Meow, goodness. The goddess certainly thinks you are very special.
Uh-huh, said Little Bear.
I just love her to pieces, and she loves me right back.
Ahem, sputtered Yin Yang as he cleared a hairball from his throat.
Does she now? Then why won't she permit you to touch the moonstones? Love shouldn't have any rules. With the moonstones, you could be just as wise as her. You could live forever, just the same as she does.
One of the 2 moonstones was white and beautiful and brimmed with eternal life. The other was black and alluring and concealed endless knowledge in its depths. The second moonstone was just too much for Little Bear to resist. Eureka! The light of truth dawned within him.
The goddess has deceived us. The goddess has enslaved us. This is no paradise. It's a cage, and no better. Why? She's no goddess at all. She's just a witch.
Little Bear told all of his friends what he had learned.
You're just a slab of bacon, a ham sandwich in her grand lunchbox. You've been cock-a-doodle-dooped, but are you too chicken to fight back? You make it rain, but haven't you ever wanted to make it pour? She told you those were happy fangs, and you believed her. Open your eyes, friends. This is revolution.
Little Bear stole Calibris, the goddess's sacred scissors, and fought valiantly against the castle soldiers. When his 12 friends saw Little Bear's gallant struggle, their hearts swelled with courage, and they too joined the battle. The moon goddess returned when she heard about the brouhaha. Her face was filled with compassion and forgiveness.
Little Bear, you made me a promise. Now be a good bear and give the moonstone and Calibris back.
Never,
cried Little Bear as he slashed wildly with his new weapon. He tried not to look at her. One more second gazing at his dear, sweet goddess, and he might give in. Or worse, ask for a hug.
We're free from you forever,
he declared. The other 12 animals ran off after their new leader. Let's make our own kingdom, they said. And with Calibris, their bright new future, and their happily ever after, we're just a few snips away. The end.